especially with the fucking
High School Identity.
titty sniper rest. That's fucking edgy. That's fucking edgy.
And the shit.
Yeah.
the titty matrix.
Recoil. That's fucking
Oh,
edgy.
boy.
Absolutely. What am I about to fight? Oh, I missed. Okay, I knew that. Oh, fuck. This is the Chamber of Lament. Dude, I ain't fighting this dragon. I'll get my ass ate. And not in the good way.
What are you playing right there?
Fucking Dragon's Dogma?
Oh,
Underrated RPG? Hell
dude,
yeah, bro.
that's super underrated.
It is insane.
You a ranger?
No, I'm an assassin now. I multi-classed like 10 times to get all the
Assassin's
best
dope.
perks. So I have the warrior perk that gives me like plus. Wait a minute, we're supposed to be recording the podcast.
Hey!
Yeah, so oh shit. We'll be back after this message. So, after that little debacle of video gaming, we'll do a gaming session sometime.
Oh, we need to. I wasn't paying attention.
Look, things are a little different. You can see that somebody's missing here.
Yeah.
Some people work
We have to.
overtime. I do it during the weekdays, like a normal overworked salary man. Some people do it on the weekends.
Like a smart person, Jay.
Yeah, I know you're going to be listening / watching this later. But yeah, we're going to carry on. I am your host, Cars, and beside me is our lovely additional host.
Kenny B. Hello, everybody. Hi.
Marvelous. We don't have any specific topics today. We're just going to ramble about bullshit because there's so much to talk about anime that, whatever. But we do have some listener questions that we'll address later. That's going to be fun. Some of those I had to think about. I was just like, yo, I don't know. I gotta think about that one.
I'm still pondering on answers for some of them.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes
So,
up with something by the
yeah,
time we get there.
I'll have a couple things. Don't worry.
Man, so I haven't been watching much Spy Family. I haven't caught up. I think I watched episode 6, 7.
I actually haven't watched episode 6 yet. So
Oh, all right. So,
I rewatched episode 5 like twice.
bro, I rewatched it too. It's so much fun.
Just because, yeah, it's probably my favorite episode.
Yeah.
For now.
For
Just
now,
until I see the next ones, because I've heard the next ones are good too.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the one after 5, so it was 6 that I watched, and it was amusing. It wasn't episode 5, but it didn't let down. So it was a lot of good stuff. But it got me thinking about Rurouni Kenshin again.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because the pacing and everything, the character development, I'm so excited about that. And fucking, this is weird without Jay. Oh man, I'm like going one-on-one. I gotta talk to you guys too. Hey, so how are you doing? Right? Are you doing well?
I'm doing pretty good,
I was
thanks.
talking to them.
Oh, sorry.
But that's okay. They couldn't reply, so you replied on their behalf. I'm glad that you're all doing well out there. Take care of yourselves. But no, I really want to watch Rurouni Kenshin again. And like, I almost want to do it side by side, but then like, it takes time.
I
There's so
need
much
to
anime.
continue. I need to continue. After that, I forgot his name, but the
Shishio?
character is that his name with the red headband?
Oh, you're talking about Sato.
Sato, yeah. That was the last episode that I got to.
When he was introduced. Oh
Yeah,
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 you were still in the beginnings.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I
still in
shouldn't
the
talk
beginnings
about
of
it
that
more
show.
because then I'll spoil shit. I will probably have some spoilers in the listener questions, but I don't count them as spoilers because it's mostly shit that's like 20, 30 years old. So fuck you if you haven't watched it yet. That's your problem.
Yeah, I've been focused on a lot of other stuff. I've been catching up on some of my other things out of anime. Like
Yeah.
A couple Marvel shows.
Oh,
Moon Knight.
I am Moon Knight. Yeah, Moon Knight's big right now.
Moon Knight's really good. I recommend for any of you Marvel fans. Waiting on that Obi-Wan show coming out too.
Oh man, that Obi-Wan show. I want it to be good, but I have some pretty severe reservations on that.
Yeah, it's really gotta knock it out of the park, honestly. Because Boba Fett, it was somewhat of a letdown. Like the best episodes were the ones with Mandalorian.
It's probably riding on the Mandalorian hype. Whiskey. And from what I've heard, it's a lot of just content. There's no really substance behind it. It's just like, oh look. Which honestly, I was afraid of it going in because I was like, Boba Fett to me is a character that I don't think should have revealed backstory. I like the mystery and suspense behind Boba Fett. Like, oh, here's this mysterious bounty hunter coming up, and he's like at Darth Vader's side in behest, and you know he's powerful and victorious. It's one of those things where you shouldn't show it. Just know that he's that powerful. Because when you go back, it's kind of like I imagine things differently, and now you're revealing this to me, and he's not as cool as I thought he was. So I avoided watching it kind of on that premise where I didn't want to know.
So you haven't seen any of both at all?
I've refused to because I don't want to know. And Mandalorian, I do kind of want to catch.
I feel that.
But I'm also skeptical of it because Disney and lore are not exactly friends. And after the KOTOR series, I was like, oh, Mandalore, this is cool. I want to know more about Mandalorians. And then Disney was like, fuck you, nothing's canon anymore. And I'm like, I don't care about Disney anymore. So.
Yeah, I feel that. It's definitely changed my opinion on Boba Fett overall. Man.
Isn't there like a Star Wars anime show?
Yeah. Visions, I think.
Visions, yeah.
It's actually really good.
Really?
I would recommend it.
So at least anime is holding up the charge for Star Wars.
I don't know if you've watched Love, Death, Robots, but it kind of follows.
It's on my radar because I've heard a lot of interesting things about it.
Yeah, that's a good show too. I recommend that as well.
There are a lot of good shows and not enough time.
As we see in anime at all times.
I'm probably going to be rewatching some shit soon because I was thinking about one of these questions and it got me thinking about car spotting in anime. And I was like, I want to rewatch this anime because it has like one of my favorite cars of all time, a lot in it.
If you guys didn't know, he really likes cars.
I like cars a lot. Actually, just this morning, I was with cars. I went to 2 different cars and coffee events in one morning, and the highlights of those shows were a Koenigsegg Agera and a Ferrari F50. So together, those cars are worth like $7 million right now, just those 2 cars alone. So, you know, it's a hell of a car scene out here. I dig it.
How old was I think I saw the Ferrari. Was it the red one?
Yeah, that's an F50. That's a 90s car.
Man, $7 million.
It's like, it was on the cover of Outrun 2, I believe, the Sega game. Sega racing game. So it appeals to gamers too, older gamers and arcade gamers mostly. But those of you who know.
I only played the Need for Speed.
Need for Speed is pretty dope too.
And Midnight Club too.
Yeah, Midnight Club was wild.
Midnight Club was dope.
Yeah, those were cool. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do a gaming edition.
Bruh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Especially with all the anime RPGs out there and shit. It's an easy tie-in with anime. Everything's anime as far as I'm fucking concerned.
Everything's
anime. We could talk about the anime where people are trapped in games or coding games. And,
That'd be everything dope. Some isekais,
yeah. Speaking of which, you ever watch Log Horizon?
No, I haven't.
Bro. Okay, if there's one trapped in a game world isekai that you should watch, it's Log Horizon. What's really interesting about that is they explore the mechanics of it. It's not just, oh, we're trapped in a video game. It's like, yo, how does the video game work? What are the mechanics? Where does gold spawn from? Where do monsters come from? How did the quests translate to real life? And so as they explore those different mechanics, is something you don't see in other ones. Like it's sort of online, it's all superficial as fuck. Yeah, it's just like, flashy, pretty, yay. And then Log Horizon's like logistics, tactics, mechanics. How does this game work? Can we change the game rules?
The actual mechanics of the game.
Yeah, they're like, how is this coded? Cool. Yeah. That and just the plot and the characters are really interesting. It's the typical tactician glasses master character, which I love that trope. Just, I'm smart enough, glasses, strategy, doing this thing a lot, glasses flash.
I've noticed there's actually a lot of isekais that involve gaming.
Yeah.
No Game, No Life, Log Horizon, like you just said.
I think it's because it's an easy, direct transition.
Yeah, it appeals to a lot of people too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of gaming otakus and neats. I wish I was a neat.
No Game, No Life, I wasn't a big fan of it. I don't know if
I loved it. Yeah. I wish there could be more of it. What I heard, I'm sure most of you are like, oh, I wish there could be a second season. But from what I understand is the author was accused of plagiarism, which turned out to be false, but that accusation was enough to nix any continuation.
To drop down his popularity.
Gotcha. So it dropped and they had to drop it, which I was going to bring it up later in one of the questions. But I decided to veto it, so I'll just do it now, actually. The writer went on to create something called Clockwork Planet, I think it was called. So after No Game, No Life, I was pretty hyped about that. I was like, yo, this is from No Game, No Life. I'm going to check this out.
It's a cool name, Clockwork Planet.
It was okay. It was just okay. So I lost interest, and I was just like, I had higher expectations after No Game, No Life. So,
man, it always sucks going into something with high expectations, and then you just get smacked in the face with disappointment. Boba Fett, I'm looking at you.
Sad face.
I'm kind of happy you didn't watch it at this point.
That's how I feel a lot of times. There's been a lot of shows where even anime and stuff. Like I think it was. Oh no, I did watch. Oh, it was so bad. Speaking of high expectations, Platinum's End.
Platinum's End.
So I watched the first couple episodes. Huge fucking letdown. I was like, yo, this is this is fucking the team that did Death Note. This is gonna be bomb. Right off the bat, I was like, what the fuck is this? This doesn't line up at all. The characters are shit. I've heard it gets better, but it started off so bad that I'm not even willing to check on it.
Man.
So that was another instance of like, yo, hype, downset. So I try not to let myself get hyped anymore, but sometimes it's like, bro, I'm excited. I can't help it.
That's sad.
So it's.
I got to be honest with Death Note. I kind of see the what's the word? I kind of see like the inspiration goes down a little bit throughout the series.
Yeah, the second half, the first half is great. The second half falls off heavily.
Everything after L, honestly, is a little bit of a letdown.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why that is, because I know, you're familiar with El Noah Zero?
I've never heard of that.
So El Noah Zero is I'm not gonna spoil anything as much as I want to, but the first season ended.
Do it. Spoil it.
Fucking tempting. All right, spoiler alert for El Noah Zero. I'm gonna spoil it if you haven't watched it. So it's like something of a mecha fantasy anime, but one of the main the thing that hit me was how the first season ended, because if they would have stopped there, it would have just been like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? Because through the series, the protagonist is going through this, and there's the rival antagonist who's like not sure which side he's gonna be on, and like he's like conflicted inside, because he's like, oh, I know what I'm doing is wrong, but at the same time these people are wrong too, and I don't know which side I should be on, and he's getting manipulated, and he knows it, but at the same time he just can't quite fall into a side, because the protagonist is also kind of a dick to him, so he's like, I don't really want to side with this guy because he attacked me too.
Yeah, gotcha.
But towards the end of the first season, it comes to the point where it's like a huge climax, and he's like, oh, I need to rescue this girl. I can't remember if her role is like a princess to stabilize something. I can't remember.
The princess trope.
It's something like that, and he goes and he meets the rival there, and he meets one of like the leaders, and the protagonist, and it seems like the antagonist is gonna switch over, and he's gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna side with you guys, you're obviously right. And so the protagonist like shoots the enemy leader or something, and the antagonist fucking kills the protagonist
in season 1.
And well, it was only supposed to be season 1. That's what I'm getting to. So he kills the protagonist and takes the girl. And I'm like, holy shit, the good guys lost. The protagonist got killed. That never fucking happens.
That's interesting.
And it was supposed to, from what I understand, it was supposed to end there. But the fan base apparently was like, yo, what the fuck, you can't stop now. So he wrote a second season and brought the main character back. Oh. And it ruined everything for me. I was like, if you would have stopped there and just usurped all expectations, like, yo, the bad guys won. They killed the protagonist.
What was the method that they used to bring the protagonist
There was some like cyber shit going on, like some cyborg style. Oh, so, man. I mean, the second season wasn't that bad, but it would have been so much better if they just left it, like the protagonist died.
Yeah,
fuck off.
That sounds super interesting. I mean, for one thing, like it's really hard for a sequel to up the previous at all times, whether it's a series, movie, video games, all types of stuff. Like it's a really hard thing to do in game at any time.
For sure. And especially, I'm surprised how well it did go from an objective standpoint, considering the fact that he had no intentions of a second season. If that's true, whatever it is true. So I'm like, if you go into a second season without even planning a second season, and you're like, no, I planned on it ending here, and then you still write something half decent, I gotta give you some credit. But
there's always going to be those expectations, though.
Yeah, the expectations. Well, I'll tell you one expectation that did go was, are you familiar with KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic series?
Yeah.
So KOTOR 2 was fucking great. So high expectations from KOTOR 1, right into KOTOR 2, which was an unfinished game, but it was still fucking great.
They're actually remaking KOTOR. They're doing
I was somewhat excited about it, and then I saw some of the writers, and it seems like they're going to be Disney-fying it.
Really?
Yeah. They're not doing a true copy. They're gonna be. This is not subjective. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like some PG type stuff.
This is a hypothetical. There's no confirmation it's being rewritten, but there's heavy suspicion that they're going to be rewriting a lot of it to fit the modern era and the modern message. I was like, you already had these strong, great characters, and now you're going to trash them with the Disney style.
Yeah, that's bringing down my excitement.
Yeah, so that's as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'll check it out. I'm not going to buy it till I see it. Let me see some clips of it. Because I would love it. Because the gameplay, I still play KOTOR, and the gameplay does not hold up over time. But the story and characters do. And that's why I play it. So if it was revamped with modern gameplay mechanics, oh, fuck, I'd be so down for that. But if they rewrite the characters, rewrite the story, any of that, it's going to ruin it. Completely ruin it.
So this is why some of you fans need to just sometimes you need to let a good thing go. You know what I mean? Like The Last of Us. I don't know if you played that at all, but Last of Us 2, at least for me, was a letdown. I think it never needed to be a thing. It's just fan service.
That's the thing too. Fan service ruins a lot of series, anime, games, movies, everything. What was it recently? I can't remember what it was. Something came out somewhat in the past year or so, but it was a lot of fan service in terms of, oh, here's just a bunch of familiar characters or familiar locations. There's no actual new content, not really stories. It's just relying on people going, ooh, nostalgia bait.
Yeah, they do a lot in Dragon Ball Z with bringing Frieza back and all that other stuff. In Code Geass with the ecchi stuff, man.
The ecchi stuff
that brings points down in Code Geass for me. I feel like that's unneeded.
I agree because of the tone of Code Geass. I like fan service stuff. I like ecchi stuff, but there's a time and place for it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a time and place. Yeah.
I mean, I will say the shower scene was relevant, even if it was fan service. That was a powerful scene. Tension, yeah, that was a very powerful scene. So it's not like fan service for the sake of fan. It's fan service for the sake of fan service.
Yeah,
that's the issue. But being like, oh, hey, here's your little nudity, but if it fits in the story, that's fine.
Here's a picture of Colin just in her ship.
Oh man,
very distinct camera angle.
Don't you think the camera angles in anime are a bit weird?
Yes.
No, not at all. Why would you suspect such a thing? Fucking A. I love it. I love anime for all the wrong reasons and the right ones, but a lot of the wrong ones too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking.
I mean, hey man, I'm a fan of High School DxD.
Dude, everybody's a fan of High School DxD. That's some top tier ecchi shit.
True.
Y'all see High School DxD? Are you over 18?
Probably not.
Actually, most of our viewers are older.
Oh yeah.
At least in the analytics. I don't know what people actually put to get those analytics, but most of them in their like 20s and early 30s.
Oh yeah, I was stating if you've seen High School DxD, you probably saw it before you were 18.
Probably. I saw it after 18, guessing. But yeah.
I think I saw it when I was like 14.
Damn, nice. Nice.
those prime years.
That is prime years for the
hentai
prime
content.
Movies. Yeah. Man, that ecchi. There's some ecchi that really rides that hentai line. I don't know how they get by with it sometimes.
Really pushing the envelope.
What was it a couple seasons ago? It was like how not to summon a demon lord or something. I think so. Yeah, there was a couple scenes in there where I'm like, this is fucking hentai, bro. It's like, just because you don't show that, that's happening still. And it's pretty obvious what's going on.
Man, oh man.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to do an episode at some point on overpowered characters.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
The good and the bad, and they're like, hey, this guy's really overpowered, but the story is shit because
the problem
it doesn't make any sense.
The problem is though, Goku's always going to come into that conversation. Goku, Saitama. Well,
because I've never seen Goku as overpowered. Because there's a lot of balancing and
you don't think so?
I don't think so. Because in his world, like he loses a lot. When I say overpowered,
he loses a lot to a point, and then he gets a power up.
I'm talking about like the overpowered ones where they like just don't fuck.
Oh, just right out the gate.
Yeah, like even if it's not right out the gate, but they just get to a point where it's like, yo, I just beat everything and I win.
I get that.
No one stands a chance.
Kind of like how Frieza was in the beginning.
Like Frieza was at the beginning, but without
when he was going to kill that Bardock and everything.
We'll differentiate like, oh, this one has an adversary that competes with them, and this one,
gotcha.
Just no one touches him. He just wins because the script says so. Like Saitama, he just wins because the script says so.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. That'd be interesting. We
like
definitely
Goku's
get
a power. Like that'll be a whole supper session, which I'm sure we'll have. Like, oh, what power levels are people? Who could beat who in a fight?
The power scaling discussion.
Yeah, which some of the fucking shit I see in comments. On
some
the web,
of the
shit. You guys are fucking idiots. Shut the fuck up.
Well, technically.
Yeah. Well, he's more powerful because it's just like that. Nobody's like not juxtaposing things like, oh, what world? What are the conditions that they're fighting?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, this character's more powerful. How did you get to that point? Because he did this in this world. That doesn't replicate in this world. Like, they're two different anime. They're two different writers. They're two different. You have to come up with terms to meet in the middle. These people are just like, I fanboy, I win.
Speaking right now. Pay attention.
I'm calling you bitches out.
As he should at all times. This is what Robert's here for. And you're going to like it.
Oh, yeah. You know what else you're going to like? Handful of these listener questions we got coming up at you after this. Click. So I put a little poll on Instagram, and a few people responded to it. We got some listener questions coming through.
These are pretty interesting.
Some of them I had to really think. Some of them I had to answer like right off the bat. But some of them I was like, you know what? Which one? I don't know. And one of the ones that came right off the bat is the question: your favorite moments in anime that had a profound impact on you. And that comes from WillShoop92, who was previously a guest.
Will Shoop, he was on session 4, I believe.
Session 4, I think it was. Yeah,
Man,
voice actor.
Such a good. That's one of my favorite episodes that we've done. I hope you guys tune into that.
Yeah,
if you're looking into voiceover.
Very
Check
insightful, yes. So I'll let you answer this one first. What were some of your favorite moments in anime that impacted you in some way? Jiraiya's death.
Oh, come on, man.
I know. I just got some people. Like,
just had to pull that
I just
out.
heard some people.
My heart.
My heart too, man. I'm not even a Naruto fan, but Jiraiya's death.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. No, I don't want to go too dark.
I will.
And I'm the dark.
I'm wearing black.
True. I'm wearing black as well.
Damn it.
I think a good one that sticks out for me is in MHA when All Might tells Deku that he can be a hero. That's a really good one that sticks with me a lot. You know, it makes me feel like I can accomplish the things that I really want to look forward to.
I think it's a really powerful aspect of My Hero.
Yeah. What would be another one? What about you? Let me pass it off to you.
Yeah.
Real quick.
So one of them, I'll start off light. One of them was the first time I did some like hardcore car spotting. Because I've seen cars in anime before. I don't count like Initial D because that's fucking obvious. It's about cars. But the anime Phantom Requiem for a Phantom, odd titles, repeats, Phantom, has a lot of cars in it. And one of them is one of my favorite cars of all time, if not my favorite car of all time, the Ferrari F40. And it is featured prominently through the entire series, like several scenes, lengthy scenes, because the one organization leader drives one. And she's featured all the time pulling up in it. And at one point, she lets the protagonist learn how to drive in it. And I'm like, man. Yo, this dude's learning how to drive like one of the most raw vehicles on the fucking planet, one of the first supercars.
That's crazy.
And I was like, they spent a lot of time putting this F40 on screen, the interior, the exterior, the different angles, it moving and driving. I was like, yo, they're like about cars. Anime, like, these people like cars. It's not just car anime. So that was like one of the first things that hooked with me, where I was like, yo, like manga and anime and shit overlap with cars.
That's true. They take a lot of real life aspects, as they should, you know.
Yeah.
In anime.
So what else you got?
I think another one, Code Geass, circling back to Code Geass. Lelouch is talking to his baby sister. I forgot her name, sadly.
So something L, right?
I'm not sure.
Bro.
That's why I looked at you. I thought you have the answer.
I know a lot of things, but even if they're here, it takes them some time to trickle down to here, and then they get here, and then
if there was a car in that scene, you would have known the make, model, and everything. But
can you say I'm biased?
But there was a scene where he was talking to her, and he already had his spectral Geass powers, and he accidentally gave her an order to.
Oh,
it's one of the big parts. It's one of the big parts in the show. Yeah.
Oh shit.
He accidentally gives her an order to kill all Japanese.
Bro, that scene. You can see his panic.
Yeah.
And realizing what he'd done.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's a very powerful scene for me. It's like he was trying so hard to protect his family, and at the same time, he's the one that ruins it.
Yeah. And he did it with his own ego.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, if I wanted to, I could. And then he does. And it's like, and then he realizes like the hubris.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck.
I really just fucked up.
And the impact that had on the series. I was like,
that definitely carried through with Lelouch throughout the rest of the show, for sure.
Yeah. I think
and the death of the girl that really
that's exactly what I was about to mention. Yeah. When she died, I was like, dude.
That was sad. Like
too many feels.
Lelouch never really liked her like that, but
I think he liked her more than he ever let on.
You think?
And
so?
it was at that moment that he realized it.
That's true. Yeah, he did show a lot of emotion at that point.
Yeah, like you could tell because one, he knew it was the results of his
fault.
actions.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't pull the trigger, it was the same damn thing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck me, right? Go full send villain now. I'm the bad guy. Let's go.
That's one of the reasons why I like Lelouch so much. He's trying so hard to be the somewhat of the thankless hero, and he's getting in the way of himself.
Yeah.
At every turn.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough being a human.
Yeah.
Especially with spectral powers.
Yeah. And I think we're going to go into more Code Geass at another time. I definitely want to do a session as well on like psychological anime that have a lot of twists or like mental aspects to it, like Code Geass does. It's a lot of mind games.
Code Geass, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah, I would definitely throw in some like Ergo Proxy and Psychopaths, and Steins Gate, like a lot of shit. There could be a lot of fun with that.
Steins Gate,
Steins Gate, I know.
I love Steins Gate.
Steins Gate's so If you haven't seen it, that's cute. If you've seen it, you're probably crying already. So if we want to get into some more darker stuff, like you just led into, the first time I had like the feels getting hit by like character death was Wolfwood's death in Trigun. So this, like the moment it builds up, he and Millie start building this relationship, and it's almost like reluctant. His relationship with Vash and everything in the first place. And so when he finally goes to face that final moment, and he just like lights a cigarette, like hunches over the cross and is dead. And you see Millie just like broken. I'm just like, oh fuck, I feel something.
I haven't seen that in so long, but I still feel it. I still feel it.
So that was like the first time I was like, yo, anime deaths can carry weight, bro. It ain't just like combat.
They'll throw you in the fields and keep you there.
Yeah, and it's like how the other characters handle those deaths as well is what was impactful. Because you see Millie just break down and stop. She's just like not functional after that because she just got this relationship with him only for it to end. Yeah, like that. And she's just like, how do I process this? What am I supposed to do? I thought he could be saved because he was like that tortured soul that didn't think he could be saved, didn't deserve to be saved. He was trying to help everyone as his way of atonement or whatever. He was one of those ones that set that archetype, not became the archetype.
True.
Because this is from like 98, 97? Trigun?
I think so, yeah. It was in the 90s.
Yeah, so this was one of the like original characters. And stuff. Trigun's so fucking good. It's one of my top 3 series for sure.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I watched it when I was, I think like 10. So it was a long time ago.
I watch it a couple times a year probably.
Yeah.
I was rewatching it just Vash is
still he's still in here, man.
Dude, Vash is a really easy character to get attached to because he's comes off as, especially in the beginning of the series, he's this goofy, carefree character. It's like, oh, it's just a silly, fun anime. Like and then you learn about his backstory and how dark and horrible it is.
Yeah.
Like what his role is in the world, and you're just like, holy shit, what? And then like the tragedies he's responsible for unwittingly and shit, and you're like, And then at the end, when he has to face off with his brother, you're just like, oh, this is supposed to be fun and cute.
It's tough, man. Yeah. Vash is a real one.
Yeah, very good character.
For sure.
Another one that hit me also back in the day, Gungrave. Have you ever seen Gungrave?
No, I haven't.
Bro, fucking what?
That's a cool name.
I would say spoiler, but it happens in like a few episodes in.
This is another 1990s.
I think it was late 90s. No, I think it was early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
I think it was like 2002, 2004-ish. But it's still like that pencil drawn old school style. So it's about like some mafiosos. They start off as just street thugs. They're just some orphans on the street who have no life going for them. And they're all really attached to each other. They're like, yo, we're all we have kind of thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be, in a street gang, you gotta be, you gotta have that brotherly love.
Yeah, and so they see like the more organized crime mafiosos, and they're like, "Yo, look at them driving these nice cars, living in these mansions. We need to get to that. We need to be like that." So they work their way up, getting into the good graces, and two of them, Brandon and fuck, how did I just forget his name? Hold on, I hold on. It's wrong with me to forget this. I need to look it up right now.
Don't worry, guys.
Wow, I cannot believe I just. I hurt myself. Oh my god, it's right there on my head. Oh.
Gungrave. Check it out, guys.
Harry McDowell. How the fuck? So, Brandon Heat and Harry McDowell. They're fucking brothers, right?
Cool character.
Oh yeah, so they're fucking brothers, and they get together and they work their way up into this organization, but they end up in different parts because Harry's like the brains and Brandon's the brawn. So Brandon ends up as an enforcer working on the enforcer side of things, and then Harry works his way up on like the strategic side and the CEO types of the mafia. And it gets to the point where Harry's hunger for the top just super. Brandon's almost mute. He barely ever speaks. Like he has like 3 lines in the whole fucking series.
Following the trope.
Yeah,
of the brawn.
The strong silent side. But he's a very nice guy, very caring, always looking out for everybody. And Harry's also seems that way too, except he talks a lot. He's super charismatic, very friendly. And Harry gets to this point where he's like close to the top. He's like in the inner circle, and he starts plotting. He's hungry for power, and he wants that top position.
Oh boy, it always happens to somebody.
Yep. But he's very clever about it. So he does it without any of it leading back to him. Then one day he's in the elevator, and Brandon catches on though, because he becomes the top enforcer, and he's like, "Hold up, all these clues point to Harry. What's going?" So they confront each other in the elevator, and Harry's like, "Hey, I want you to join me." And Brandon's like, "No, I'm the good." Harry pulls out a gun and fucking kills him. Yeah.
What?
And I was like, holy shit, that betrayal. These are fucking brothers
so,
who have done everything together since being on the street.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So Harry was the one that was vying for power?
Yes.
And he killed the Braun brother?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What?
And that scene, I was like, holy fucking
That's crazy.
shit. Like that moment, it wasn't Griffith and Guts level betrayal, but it was up there. I was like, yo, I feel betrayed. Like this is not okay.
Man.
And yeah, Gungrave, that happens in like the first few episodes because that's the prologue to what happens to the rest of the series. Because through a series of
that's the first few episodes?
Yeah.
Putting it on the list.
Hell yeah. Gungrave is fucking, it's fucking good. It's fucking good. It's to add a little more context to it, there's like these bioengineered super soldiers and monsters and stuff in the series. So that's where that comes into play because he's brought back from the mad scientist who created the super soldiers and left the organization and brought Brandon back to try to fight the monsters off to stop the organization. So it's a fucking ride.
That's crazy.
But it's very good. Oh man. But yeah, so that betrayal hit me hard. It wasn't until I started reading the Berserk manga that I got hit like that again. That and Monster. When I saw Monster, that got some feels.
I have not seen Monster yet, but I really want to watch it.
Mandatory.
I really
fucking mandatory. You have to watch or
so many good things about Monster.
Monster has an odd number of episodes. I think it's like 76 or something because they didn't do it by season. They did it by replicating the manga.
Oh, okay.
So they basically went frame by frame from the manga to keep it on chart. So it's not like
Best
a normal seasonal divide. It's just on point with the manga.
That's
another one I would bring up in the psychological one too, because holy shit, that is a mind fuck of a fucking.
So we got Neon Genesis Evangelion, Code Geass, and Monster on the list.
Yeah.
For the mind fuck.
And
episode.
then Ergo Proxy, just so it could be pretentious.
Ergo Proxy.
So I know Ergo Proxy has this reputation of you're such a pretentious anime weeb if you watch Ergo Proxy. And I'm like, dude, fuck you, it's so good. It's got the fucking bitch from Evanescence as the fucking main character.
Oh,
Not
really?
Not really.
Oh.
I just remember when I first saw the character, I was like, is that the bitch from Amy Lee from Evanescence? But no, it's just.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of 1990s, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I had to bring that up. But
So
final episode when Spike leaves the gang. Yeah. Dude, that hit me in the feels.
That's another one that's like, oh, it's so carefree and fun. And then the last few episodes are like, holy shit, the stakes just skyrocketed.
Yeah. It was a super in the feels episode for sure. Faye turned out to be one of my favorite characters.
She is an extraordinarily well-written character. The things she goes through in that series and the way she handles it or doesn't handle it is really good.
Yeah, I have a little contingencies with Cowboy Bebop because I just don't really like episodic shows that much.
It is definitely an episodic show up until the last few.
Yeah. I don't like them that much, but when they focus in on the characters singularly, it's so good.
Oh, man.
The one with Edward.
Faye and the VHS tape.
Faye, yeah. It was so good. So I give them props for that, man. They're so good at showing us, just how complex these characters can be. It's really good.
Yeah, and that was something that's not even based on a manga or anything. So they wrote that straight up because I think, actually, if I remember correctly, they went to Watanabe and they basically said, "Hey, you can do whatever you want as long as it has." I can't remember what it was. It was like spaceships or something. They're like, as long as it has spaceships, you could do it. And he wrote Cowboy Bebop, this masterpiece that barely has anything anything to do with spaceships. Like, it takes place on spaceships, but most of the stuff's about the characters
in it. But it's mostly character driven. Yeah.
So it's really interesting when it's like you are given such vague things and you come up with this brilliant show that's considered masterclass even to this day.
We brought up Cowboy Bebop a lot.
So we still have a few more questions. So let's go ahead and pop into the next one. This one took me some time just because it was like, wow, there's a lot. And I actually got two from LilGrimKillin. The first one is top 5 anime weapons.
That's a cool question.
It's a very cool question. It's a very cool question.
You got anyone? Let me let you kick this one off.
Yeah, I had to actually think about this one and write them down because I was like, some of them are kind of generic. I'll give you that. But the first one I put was Incursio, which is what he got in Akame Got Kill.
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, it's armor, but it has the spear, so close fucking enough. But I remember the scene when Tatsumi?
I think so.
I'm so bad with fucking remembering names. When he first dons it after the unfortunate big feels moment of Milot's death.
Yeah.
And
God. Rest in peace.
I mean, I would say spoiler, but spoiler, everybody dies and Akame got killed. And he dies and he puts it on for the first time. And he's like, oh no, it's going to backfire on, because it's known that these relics will kill people or hurt them if they put them on and they're not ready for it or whatever. And there's that moment of, no, remember your first reaction, you said it was super cool, just trust me, you could do it. And he puts it on and it, like, full berserker mode, big old dragon comes out, the armor reforms almost like Guts does. You might not be familiar, but when Guts first gets his berserker armor, it reforms into the shape of like that dog hound.
Also same thing as the
and it kind of does that too, because in the anime it's part of like a living creature that just is so powerful it just will not die even now that it's been formed into armor. So it reshapes itself to Tatsumi's will. And so there's just that moment of donning that armor and getting that power and then avenging the death. I was like, that's so fucking cool.
That's so,
And just the armor itself, I love cool ass armor. And it has like the cape and the spear. I was like, this guy's fucking dope.
Living armor is always a cool
so that
thing.
One instantly went on my list. I was like, yeah, Curcio. Fucking Curcio.
Man, speaking of armor, you made me think of one of Issei's Sacred Gear.
Oh, that's a cool one too. That's a very cool one.
And what's his name? He's also in High School DxD. His Sacred Gear is the sword birth.
I only remember Issei.
I forgot his name.
And titties. I remember Issei and titties. There's a couple of big ones. There's a couple of small ones. There's a couple of flat ones.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but his is called Sword Birth. So both of those are super cool. Yeah. Just him, Issei, just turning into this armored dragon. Yeah. Super cool, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool one for sure.
And then you got the boost every single time. Every time he upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So dope.
Yeah, so there's a generic one, since I was talking about Berserk a moment ago. The Dragon Slayer. The origin of oversized swords is Guts Dragon Slayer. If it wasn't for him, there would be no Buster Sword. Cloud would not have a Buster Sword if it was not for Guts Dragon Slayer.
Very true.
So even though it's generic, it's the origin of it. So fucking there you go.
Even if you haven't seen Berserk, you know Guts and you know how.
If you've played Elden Ring, any of the Dark Souls games, they're all based on fucking Berserk. So
that is true. That is true. That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of shit's inspired by the Dragon Slayer. It's this big oversized sword. You swing down, everything gets cut in half. Pieces are everywhere. It's the core of utter violence.
The best black swordsman.
The only black swordsman. Don't you get me started on that motherfucking sword online bullshit.
That's what I was reaching for. I think I'm gonna throw a Naruto one in here.
Okay.
Damn, I just lost it.
Bro.
I think Asuma's blades.
Busters?
Yeah, the knuckle
Fuck
blades.
Yeah.
Those were always dope.
That dude was cool. That was one of the coolest characters.
Asuma was dope. Him being able to form his wind chakra through them and being able to extend the range and everything. It was always cool to see that. And Minato's dagger. You gotta throw Minato's dagger in there.
Minato and his dagger. What was that fucking technique called?
Flying Raijin?
Yes, the Flying Raijin technique.
So cool. Definitely one of my favorite jutsus in the show for sure.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I love the idea of like ninjas and kunai and super fast, like teleport to the dagger.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And Minato, I was like, that's fucking cool.
He took it to the next level.
Yeah.
With his sign and everything.
Yeah.
So dope.
And the way he would use it, his tactics with it. It wasn't just look, I can move fast and do this cool thing. I was like, yo, I'm gonna like predict what you're gonna do and do this to counter that with this movement.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. Naruto shouldn't even be in Naruto because most of the other characters are better than Naruto.
Hey, man.
Naruto would be a better show without Naruto. I said it. I'll double down on it.
Oh, that hurts so
I know,
much.
but it's where I'm at, bro. It's where I'm at.
I can understand that sentiment. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm gonna come in with one of the big three too. I'm just gonna go. This is about as generic as you can get. Zangetsu. So Ichigo's Bankai, or his Zanpakuto.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything. There's more to it than that for those of you who have read the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. But so it's Zanpakuto Zangetsu, white, the alternate form of Ichigo in there, and then the way his sword works. And
I gotta say, the Ichigo's transformations in Bleach.
Bleach
cool.
as a whole is. I think it's partially because Tite Kubo is just, when it comes to fashion, he fucking knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
So the aesthetics of Bleach are fucking dope. Yeah, and especially the later series, like the 1,000-Year Blood War, by the time he got that, his art matured so much, the character design was totally fucking different.
Yeah.
Than the initial things. And I'm like,
the bone armor look that Ichigo gets from
the Hellverse?
Yeah. That shit's dope.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool looks, but just I like the concept of it. First, he has the oversized sword trope, but then it's like condensed into this narrow, slender but long katana, and you learn like, oh, that's just because it's like condensing your powers. And you see him move at like absurd fucking speeds. And I'm a sucker for like the super fast tropes. So I was like, yo, look at him, he's just like super fast. It's awesome. I love it. So I stuck with it. This is the big long sword. Everything's black. His outfit's black. The sword's black. I mean, I like wearing black.
Who doesn't like black? Black is beautiful.
Black is
beautiful, baby.
So yeah, even though, I mean, back then the whole thing with the big three, they were kind of unique because they were kind of the big starters.
Yeah.
But now it's like an overdone thing. So it's like, ooh, sword and power up. What do you do? It's a katana. Ooh. But I still think it's fucking cool.
Speaking of the big three, I gotta say, and it's not really a weapon, but the spirit sword from Vegito, man.
I mean, I consider it a weapon. I mean, anything that can be used to attack, even if it's like a power, I would say it's a weapon.
Oh, you would say?
I would say.
Yeah.
That's how I would say.
The spirit sword from Vegito.
LilGrimKillin, you tell me what constitutes a weapon. You didn't say it, so I'm going to define it myself. But basically, any means of attack. I'm
anything that's not your
fists. So even if it's like a power blast. Kamehameha, I would say. It's
an attack for sure.
It's an attack. Yeah. So I would consider that a weapon.
Yeah, the spirit sword's dope, man. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, this shit's sick. I got to see more.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so let's see, I did 1, 2, 3, so there's still 2 more for me to list. I'm going to go back into the 90s again with Outlaw Star and the Caster.
Oh,
so
I've never seen that. That's a cool name.
Outlaw Star.
There's a lot of cool shows with cool names.
Yeah, Outlaw Star was really cool. Gene was an interesting character, spent a lot of time in the red light district, and he was your typical sleazeball. Lots of scars on his chest and shit from the work he's done. But I love Outlaw Star, but he has a weapon called the Caster. And in this world, it's like a spacefaring world, kind of like Cowboy Bebop, spaghetti western type thing. So they travel through space, and there's pirates and space pirates and all that shit. But there's magic in the world. But the modern magic, I think it's called Tau, and they use like their own powers or whatever. But it's rare. Like magic's rare in the world. But the Caster uses ancient magic that's not used anymore, that has been forgotten. But it can't be used innately. So a person can't cast magic, so they have to use this gun. And they have to load magic pre-canned, basically magic that's been stored into shells into the gun.
That's cool.
But it's super rare and hard to find. And he's like one of 2 people that fucking has one.
Damn.
But he only has a limited supply of the shells because the magic's ancient and nobody knows it anymore.
Yeah.
But the first time he uses it in combat, the people are using Tau magic, and they're like, they put up like a shield, and they're like, oh, you can't. People are shooting with guns and shit. And they're like, oh, you can't penetrate this. It's Tau magic.
That kind of reminds me of the weaponry in Dune a little bit. I don't know if you've seen Dune before.
I saw the original one years ago, a couple decades back.
They just remade it a little while ago. It's really good.
The director, same guy did Blade Runner. Has my heart because fucking brilliant.
Blade Runners, oof,
brilliant.
So dope.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So he pulls out the Caster, and they're like, "Oh, what are you going to do? We have our Tau shields up." And he fires it, and it penetrates your shields and destroys them and kills him. And they're like, "What the fuck? That's ancient magic. How the hell do you have that?" And it was like a really cool concept that there's this super rare pre-stored magic in batteries in shells, basically. But there's this limited number because they don't exist anymore. So it's like once you use them, they're gone forever. There's no more that's coming back. It's not like ammunition that's coming back. So it's like, how do you choose to use that?
So you
something
can't
that's going to go away forever.
There's no way to manifest.
Correct, because that ancient magic is nobody knows it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's a whole new magic system that the world or universe now uses. So I always thought that was like a really interesting thing where they're like, here, give me a number 13, and he would throw him Hawkins would throw him a 13, and he'd put it in there and be like, oh, we only have one of those left. Are you sure you want to use it? And he's like, we don't have time to think about it right now. Yeah, so I always thought that was really cool.
That's sick. I think my last one, it would probably be Gilgamesh's ability in Fate
That's
Zero.
OP, bro.
Bruh.
That motherfucker's OP.
He is fucking OP. The ability
He's probably going to be in our OP discussion.
You think so?
I think so.
I would throw him in there for sure.
Yeah.
He's probably the only one you could pull out. Well, I guess King Arthur's they're pretty strong, but I don't know if they're as strong as Gilgamesh. Yeah.
Gilgamesh, the script had to nerf him to get him anywhere. So.
The ability to pull out any weapon over the millions of just enemies that you've conquered.
And not just one at a time. Just like, hey, here's multiple. Everything at once. Fuck you.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Pulls out a whole ship at once.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that guy, not to mention just his ego and his own personal abilities.
Yeah.
Really accentuate that.
Man, he's such a dope character.
Yeah. Speaking of dope characters, my final one is a Yo-Yo.
Oh, you talking about Hunter x Hunter?
Hell yeah, I'm talking about. We always have to bring Hunter x Hunter up in every episode. It's mandatory. Yeah, Killua. I think each one weighed what, 50 kilograms?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's dual wielding 50 kilogram yo-yos at super high speed. So it just plus his electricity power. So he would stream electricity through these 50 kilogram which is what, 110 pounds or some shit.
About 110. Yeah.
Yeah. And he would just fucking.
Killua.
I love the fact that Killua had a yo-yo and Gon had a fishing rod. I was like, those are so non-standard weapons. I love it.
They work, man.
But it worked absolutely.
50 kilogram yo-yos. You're a freak, Killua. Really.
Oh man. Speaking of which, we could go back to that Naruto because LilGrimKillin second question. Who's the better waifu, Hinata or Sakura? And why is Hinata the better answer? I'm sorry, the correct answer.
Well, I have a different name for Sakura. It's called uselessness.
I think most of us know her better by useless, trash, garbage.
She's like, let's be honest, guys.
I know some of you are Sakura defenders. You're fucking wrong.
You are 100% wrong. We will die on this hill that Sakura is the most useless character. More useless than Tenten.
I agree.
More useless than anybody in the show. I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to like Sakura because when I was, I was like, what, 15? When I
yeah, cute girl with the pink hair.
And I was like, cute girl, pink hair, yeah. And I was like, yo, this bitch is, if it wasn't for, it was mostly her attitude. If it wasn't for her attitude, it'd be fine. But she was egotistical and arrogant as fuck.
Yes.
And I was like, bro, learn your fucking place.
Man, you know, I just saw a post on Twitter yesterday saying that they think that they deliberately switched up Sakura's ego in the anime from the manga.
Interesting. I haven't read the manga, so manga readers, tell me if there's a difference.
Yeah, let's know.
Character,
I think I'm going to need a cross-reference.
Because I know there are a lot of differences sometimes between manga. Sometimes the anime completely changes things.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes.
So
sometimes they don't have the budget for that stuff.
Well, it's not even just the budget. Sometimes, whether it's the studio or even the writer, there's like, you know what, I want this change.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot with studios, which is why I'm excited for Bleach's return, because apparently Tito Kube straight up has control of it, and he's making all the decisions.
That's good.
So,
I would always rather have it.
I hear it's supposed to be uncensored.
Oh.
And not only do we get to see Ichigo's mom naked in the manga, but we also have a lot
You had to bring that up first.
Of course I had to bring that up first. But there's also a lot of gore in the series. So if that's all uncensored, plus the refinement, because he was kind of rushed in writing it, so if he gets to like correct his mistakes and the shorthandedness, it's going to be a good fucking anime.
You heard it here first, guys. Ichigo's mom naked, episode 1.
It's not episode 1, but it's pretty early in. So we should see it in the first season that drops for 1,000 Year Blood War arc.
Shit.
So if you don't like Bleach, but you're into like ecchi shit, you at least have that to
take a look. But yeah, Hinata is definitely the choice for that one.
Yeah. For one, she actually fucking cares about Naruto.
Yeah.
Like
genuinely.
Like let's be real, fellas. Beauty and sexiness is great, but it's real nice to be cared about. It's real fucking nice to be cared about. Mm-hmm. So that carries a lot of fucking weight.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't just down for the looks.
Right.
She was down
for the heart. It's not just an aesthetic. It's like, yo, feels. Let's bond. Let's
Naruto
make things
said
matter.
one thing to her, and then it was just
Doki.
Doki.
Yes, I mean, there's no question that Hinata's the better one.
And I mean, like, Himawari's the cutest. So
head pats. I've only watched a little bit of Boruto because I don't really care about it.
I've only seen clips. So
yeah, I don't
even want to tune in.
It's not worth it from what I understand because it's just nonsense.
The curse mark stuff looks cool, but other than
there's a lot that's wrong with it. Naruto should have ended at Naruto. That's why I like Bleach ended at Bleach. And Kubo has said that it's going to stay that way, that he's not going to continue it. I've heard a bunch of rumors that he's continuing it because of the anniversary chapters that he let out, but he's said in interviews before that no, it ended. That's where it's going to end. Which I like. Like, a series has to have an endpoint. I get there's a big following. I get that it was really popular. I get that you want to keep writing it. But sometimes when things hit a certain point, you should stop.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're only taking away from everything you've ever done. And that's what Boruto's doing to Naruto. It's taking away. Every episode of Boruto takes away from the episode of Naruto.
That's the phrase of the day, guys. All good things must come to an end.
Damn. That's even worse than humanizing.
We bring that up like every episode.
Oh, fuck it.
Man, we gotta get that on a t-shirt or something.
Right?
Humanization.
It has to be humanization.
Yeah.
Guys, do you want merch? Tell us if you want to buy
Tell
merch.
us
If you'll
if you
buy
want some
merch,
merch,
we'll make
guys.
fucking merch.
We do have a banner coming in soon.
That's true.
And
I'm
it is
hyped
dope.
for that. I'm fucking hyped for
Can't
that.
wait.
Oh, man. That was... Yeah, so Hinata Sakura... It's not even a question, bro. I know why you asked, but we're with you.
He's trying to...
Fortunately, neither of us are dumb enough to think Sakura.
he's trying to get Sakura in our good graces. Like, come on, man. You know...
No, he said the answer was Hinata.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah.
I gain respect.
Yeah. We got you, bro.
Yeah.
So now we have an interesting question from G_Cosplay, in which, what is the airspeed of an unladen swallow?
Previously, off camera, you told me that this has to do with Monty Python, which I've never seen. So I'm gonna have to let you take the reins on this question.
Yeah. So I'm sure the answer you're thinking of is African or European swallow. However, after a brief amount of research, I discovered that there is no African swallow. There are a West African swallow and a South African swallow, but not an African swallow. So that question doesn't have the correct answer. With that being said, there was somebody who did the math based on the size of the average swallow, the size of the average European swallow, and how much distance each wing beat provided in lift, with how many wing beats per measured time. And after their calculations, it came out to about 20.1 miles per hour.
Wow.
So the airspeed of an unladen swallow for a European swallow is approximately 20.1 miles per hour.
That is a large swallow. You would almost call it a
Actually,
gulp.
it's a fairly small swallow. It wouldn't even be able to carry like a small coconut.
Did you hear my joke?
I did.
Called it a gulp.
But I denied it because swallows are small. And you said it was no big.
We're gonna
gulps,
cut that out. We're gonna cut that out.
No, we're not. I cut nothing. Yeah. So there's the answer to your question, along with
You're
the
welcome.
actual scientific-ish answer.
He does his research.
And then I have a question that's more oriented towards me because I don't think you do photography, do you?
I do not. I can look into it, but I mean,
It's fun.
I'll let you.
Everybody should look into it. If you look into it, let me know. I'll turn you on to film. It's fucking hot. It'll turn you on as much as I turn you on.
I'm mostly
Wait, no,
in
it'll
front
turn
of
you
the
more
camera.
on than that I'll cut.
No, we're keeping that in.
Fuck. All right. But the question is from Jazz.Cosplays. What do you try to express most in your photography? And the first
Sounds like a
answer
good
I
question.
have to that is aesthetic. It's got to be fucking pretty, bro. It's a picture. You're supposed to look at it. Aesthetics matter.
It is a piece of art.
It is a piece of art. And the first thing you see is visual. So your vision has to be like, ooh, candy, before anything else registers.
There's actually a question I'd like to ask you about photography. So is there like an approach that you take depending on who you're taking pictures of or what?
Oh, absolutely. So if I'm shooting at just like an event, I just kind of use it as a opportunity for practice, just to keep my eye for good composition. Like, because at an event, there's challenges, there's crowds, there's people all around, there's limited mobility, there's obstacles in the way of what I want to shoot. So it's like, how can I get the best shot under these circumstances? So it just helps keep me sharp and thinking better. But as for an actual appropriate shoot, so say I'm shooting a car, I'm going to think about what location is going to fit the car. Do I want like an urban environment? Do I want the desert environment? Do I want the mountains or palm trees? What do I want to express visually? I want to think about how much room I want to take. Do I want people around and traffic around to show like, oh yeah, this is like a lively setting, or do I want to be just me in the car? And then like, no, this is just the car we're focusing on. With the cosplay, it's a lot more dynamic because different cosplays, different characters, different settings. So I usually try to find what setting fits this character, or just what aesthetic fits this character. Because sometimes it's like, yo, I'm not going to get to some fucking Meiji era Japan, in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm just like, what's just going to look aesthetically pleasing? And I'll just focus on that, or just focus on the character itself. Like, what would the character do in these circumstances? How would the character have their day off or something? Which is what I did with Paya of Breath of the Wild. We basically went, oh, this is Paya. She just has a free day to herself. She's wandering the forest. She's going to have a picnic. How would she act in those circumstances? And we'll just do like a really pretty shoot. And that shoot was very fucking pretty. Much because Breath of the Wild was very fucking pretty and the mountains were very fucking pretty. So I barely had to do anything. Sometimes photography works that way. You really do just exist. But that also leads into the other thing. What do I want to express in the story? After the aesthetic that gets your vision onto the photo, what keeps your vision there is the story it tells. which is something I've more recently implemented. Now, actually, for big shoots especially, I try to storyboard, so I'll actually sit there writing out frames, like, oh, the character's doing this, they're going to be positioned here, the light's going to be positioned here. It's a lot of work.
That's a good way to go about it. Right?
But yeah, because I took from cinema as inspiration, so that's why a lot of my crop factors are 21:9, because it's like cinema in the movie theater. So I try to think about what's going to portray what this character is doing or what this character is feeling. What do I want the viewer to feel, rather than just. So I want it. Before it was just, oh, here's a pretty picture, cool. Now I'm like, okay, that's great. There's a like and they swipe. How can I keep them looking at that photo and going, wow, I feel something. So now I'm focusing more on telling a story. And that is what I try to express most in my photography. Aesthetic and story.
Hashtag deep.
Deep ones. Cthulhu deep. It's pretty fucking deep.
deep.
No, I'm not at that. I'm going to try to get Cthulhu
Of
deep.
the dark.
The dark. Shit, Cthulhu's fucking cool. That whole mythos is so fucking cool.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, that shit.
You got a favorite mythological being?
Charizard.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I don't know, actually. As far as mythos from stories or fiction, I don't know.
Yeah. I'd probably say like Fenrir from Norse mythology.
From the Norse mythology.
Yeah, I really like wolves. And
that's definitely a cool one too.
Yeah.
Norse mythology goes pretty deep. Like some of that stuff, like you have the superficial, oh cool wolf, but it's like, what does that wolf do?
What does he do? Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. And then there's the attachment. What are the Fenrir's affiliations? I can't remember.
I'm not too sure. I think he's just.
There were a couple of beings affiliated with Fenrir. I can't remember what they are. I used to be more into that than I am now.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I wish I was a little bit more. But...
I have very few brain cells, and some turn on, and then when they turn on, the other ones are like, "I'm off, bro."
It's hard to keep them active these days, guys. It's hot out here.
Like 100 plus, and it's just starting.
Yeah.
It'll be 115 soon enough.
Oh God! Please don't remind me.
All right, so the next question is honestly the hardest question, and it comes from SaltedCat. Least favorite anime and why?
That's really tough because I'm gonna steal from you, like you said earlier, when off camera. We don't watch the animes that we don't like, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard because most of the time if I have like a 3-episode rule. And after that 3 episodes, if I'm not hooked, I forget it and move on to something else.
Yeah.
And I could barely remember the anime I watch and like, so. I did come up with a couple on my end. One of which is probably going to make some people mad. It's one of the big 3.
Hit them with it.
It's called One Piece. I fucking don't like One Piece. For the first off, it was the character design. I wasn't into it. And that's a superficial reason. So I watched 250 plus episodes just trying to get into it.
God, you were committed.
I was committed.
You were committed.
I was fucking committed. And I couldn't. I was like, this is fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, it makes no sense. And it knows 80, it. It's I'll give it this. It's self-aware. It knows it makes no sense. But I only have so much suspension of disbelief. And One Piece is just like, yeah, a gun ate a fruit and became a dog. Fuck you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, this is the plot. Fuck off if you don't like it. I'm like, fine, I'll fuck off. And so, yeah, I fucking don't like One Piece.
Yeah, bro. I'd say like over 80 episodes, you have the right to say this show sucks.
Yeah. I mean, if you
over
like
50,
it, fine.
Honestly.
I'm not trying to tell you not to like it. Like what you like. Commit to liking what you like. I'm just telling you, I don't fucking like it.
Yeah, subjectivity, you know. But at the end
it's
of
very
the day,
subjective. That's fine.
If you're watching that much, though, like, you have the right to say, yeah, I don't fucking like this. It sucks. I give you that.
So another one that is actually a series that I love. In fact, it's probably my top series, and I didn't like. Berserk, the 2016 anime adaptation.
Oh, man.
The CGI was atrocious. The censorship was like, what the fuck? And then it was just like, why did you do this? This is one of the most beautiful artistic series, one of the greatest series of all time. And you put this trash out? What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck have you done to Berserk?
Man.
And that was a very common reception. I'm not alone on that one. Matter of fact, I haven't heard anybody say they like the 2016 adaptation.
I haven't heard of anything yet.
Yeah, it was bad. The CGI was atrocious, and I was just like,
wasn't it 3D animation?
Yeah, it was like 3D. It was all CGI generated, like 3D, like layered.
I do not like animes like that.
Yeah, like RWBY. I can't watch RWBY. I've tried so many times because a lot of people love Ruby, but I can't watch it. Like, I do not like that animation style at all.
They remade Ultraman a little while ago on Netflix,
and it wasn't live action.
It was no, it was.
They're fired. It should be live action. If you're gonna do Ultraman, it should be fucking live action.
3D animation.
I remember when I was a kid watching one of the. It wasn't Ultraman Tiga. It was before Ultraman Tiga. It was one of the old 60s, 70s era Ultraman. And I to this day remember this scene so well. It was like the 90s when I saw it, maybe the early 2000s. No, it was the 90s because I was a fucking wee lad. And I remember this guy panicking because there was an attack or whatever, and he goes into control room and falls and lands on something. He goes and he looks at his hand, and there's it shows a sharp, pointy object there that he put his hand on when he fell, and he holds up his hand to go it hurts. But it was literally just a pile of ketchup in his hand. A literal pile of ketchup. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is that? This is the lowest budget shit ever. But no, Ultraman's cool. That seems just hilarious to me.
Man. I don't really have any anime I could say that I don't like, but the live action ones.
Yeah. There's a lot of those.
Oh god.
I think Rurouni Kenshin was the only good live action.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. They're decent. I
think there's three parts they broke it.
They're not bad, but those and Netflix is really the culprit for a lot of them. But there was Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, Cowboy Bebop. Oh man, they're just tarnishing those shows.
Every time they get the reception hey, this sucks, please don't do this, and then they do it again. And I'm like, and then their stocks are plummeting, and they wonder why. I'm maybe because you don't fucking listen to your fan base.
God.
Oh man, yeah, that's the live action. I mean, it's the same thing with games, right? The movie adaptations of games are almost always bad.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. I agree. But for anime, honestly, they're worse.
Yeah,
because
2D does not translate well into 3D in the first place, which is a problem I have with cosplay photography. Actually,
I was about to say that. It takes away the concept, the original concept.
Yeah, especially with Cowboy Bebop. I was this is. Half of the aesthetic was the pencil drawn animation. Mm-hmm. You can't replicate that in real life, so don't do it. Another one that I hate. I remember this one from when I was younger. I haven't even looked at it again since being an adult. Shin-chan.
Never heard of it.
Fuck Shin-chan. Fucking fuck Shin-chan. I fucking hate Shin-chan so much.
I knew the way you looked at me. You were like,
it's so fucking obnoxious. God damn it. Oh. How far back was that? That wasn't too long ago, was it?
I'm guessing it's early 2000s or something.
Made its first appearance in 1990.
Oh.
Shit, I'm older than I thought. That's not when it hit North America, though. Okay, it was 2006 that it hit that it was produced by Funimation. I knew it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, Shin-chan. I hate Shin-chan. I'll go to images for you.
Is it still airing? 2019?
This is Shin-chan. This little fuck here. I fucking hate him so much. I'll put a little pop-up between us for you video watchers. You audio guys, don't look it up. Just fuck Shin-chan.
So what's the bad blood here? Let me
just look at it.
He looks kind of cute.
What part of that is cute? Y'all are wild. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's not bad. It's not the worst.
It was, if I remember correctly, it was pretty raunchy.
Oh.
Yeah. And as a kid, I was very prude. So it didn't resonate with me. As a kid, I guess I was... Oh, fuck. I was late teens when this came out. Never mind. I was still a prude.
Yeah.
But, so that was part of probably what didn't resonate. It's just also, just look at him. He looks like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, he doesn't look a little weird.
I don't like him. He's a little asshole.
Head shaped like a pear.
Yeah, fuck Shin-chan. So, some of you are probably like, Shin-chan's the best. Fuck you too.
Well, hey guys, if you watch Shin-chan, you can't watch. I'm just kidding.
We ain't gonna gatekeep like that.
Us.
Yeah, we ain't gonna gatekeep like that. Plus, we need the viewers, because I need to get sponsored by some whiskey labels, so I don't have to pay for it.
Some sponsors, guys.
Oh shit.
Preferably anime.
That'd be cool too. Crunchyroll. Yeah, I think there's some box subscriptions that'd be cool. Give me some manga, man. That'd be cool.
That'd be dope. Yeah. That'd be dope.
Give it some shit to review for you. But if I don't like it, I'll tell you I don't like it. I know we have 50 viewers, so it's cool. They'll look back on this one day. Did you come up with any other least favorites?
Not really, man. Really.
That one was hard because, like I said, most of the stuff I don't like just leaves my memory.
I guess I could say Boruto just for the fuck of it.
Fuck Boruto too.
Fuck Boruto, bro.
Fuck everything I don't like.
It's Naruto's one of my favorite shows, and you're just.
It really is just trashing on the legacy.
Like,
I wonder if Kishimoto knows that.
Kishimoto.
How does Kishimoto feel about that?
There's no way he agrees with this shit. No
I
way.
wonder if he's in it just be like, yo, I need a salary.
No way, bro. Naruto's so big. They just threw fucking.
That's true. The royalties
in
alone
Fortnite, bro. I don't know if you know about Fortnite, but like.
I know about it because tangential reasons.
Yeah.
Because other people talk about Fortnite, and I'm just like, the fuck.
Yeah, but I mean that's his brand, so he's getting a share of that for sure.
I would fucking hope so.
That's a $1 billion game. So.
Yeah, Fortnite's fucking.
Yeah.
Fortnite's like the crypto
Fortnite
of video
too.
games.
Fuck Fortnite.
Fuck Fortnite. Fucking A. There's a lot of fuck in this episode.
Boruto and fuck Man, fuck, man. Like,
we even talked about ecchi. There's some fuck in there too.
there's a lot of fucking ecchi.
We'll have an 18+ episode at some point. YouTube might not like it, so it might be Spotify only. If you're 18+, stay tuned for that eventually. I don't know.
It'll be on the Patreon.
It'll be about. Oh yeah, we still gotta do that.
We still gotta do the Patreon. Yeah.
Tell us what. I mean, some of you have already voted, and you voted for like short clips, highlights, and external content. But tell us what you would want in like Patreon type content. What would you want to subscribe? What would you want to get as a subscriber? Let's put it that way.
Do some skits or something, you know. Robert loves karaoke, so if you want to see some karaoke, we could.
Okay,
Lost
so I know
in Paradise.
I know a lot.
We got it coming out.
I know a lot
we
of you.
got the screen work done and everything.
Are audio only. So you did not just see the fucking exhausted look of exasperation on my face as I don't do karaoke. Unless I am inebriated beyond consciousness, I don't do karaoke. So don't expect that content.
I have a supply of whiskey coming in.
Wait, what? My supply is getting real fucking low here. I got this. Goddamn.
Threw it back.
It's because it was just not even half a shot left. It was a swig, yeah. Whiskey's not bad. That was a Duncan Taylor I was drinking. It's a blended scotch, sort of in the same category as well, not sort of. It is in the same category as Johnny Walker. I do prefer Black Label as it's got a more smoky flavor. But Duncan Taylor's pretty good and it's cheap. It's less than $30 a bottle.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. If I remember correctly.
Interesting. I'm not a big alcohol drinker, but
I am.
I stick to the small things, you know, like beer.
I can't drink beer, man. It's fucking gross.
It depends. It depends on what you go with. You know, some of them have a little bit more flavor.
They're all no, seriously.
You gonna shut me down?
No, I went. One of my friends years ago took me on a tasting tour. We went through 50+ different ales, lagers, ciders, like everything. We ran the whole spectrum, and they were all gross.
I feel that.
And I tried drinking beer after already being drunk to see if that would change anything. I got like halfway through a bottle of Shock Top, I think it was, and I was like, no fucking way. How do you people drink this shit?
It's more just like an extra to have, you know, with your meal. You know what I mean?
That's what whiskey's for.
I don't know. I think that's a little too abrasive for a meal.
Maybe if you're a coward.
True. I am a little cowardly. I feel that. What about wine?
Depends on the meal. I mean, whiskey, gin, or wine. Depends on what I'm eating.
Like a good red wine, or
yeah, like a good.
Good red.
I'm a basic bitch when it comes to wine. Cab Sav is usually the go-to. I won't lie, I'm a basic bitch.
Gotcha.
I usually try to get something decent. I don't get like Barefoot or whatever.
Oh God.
Yeah. I don't go to Circle K to get my wine.
Please don't drink Barefoot, people.
Please don't.
It tastes like foot. So
it would give you a bad impression of alcohol. Gin is something I'll drink occasionally with meals. We usually put some ice, like a cube of ice in it, and have it with like fish and chips, just to get that full British experience.
Of course.
But it's usually something like that. Goes pretty well with it, I think. And when I say gin, I'm not talking about fucking Bombay. That's not gin, okay? Drink Hendrick's is bottom. Bare minimum start is Hendrick's gin. Then you'll experience like, oh, this doesn't taste like pine trees. Because most of you are probably like, ew, gin, pine trees. That's because you drank fucking junk. Don't drink that. Anyway, now that this episode went from gaming to anime to whiskey
to alcohol. Gaming, anime, ecchi, alcohol.
Ecchi, man. I haven't watched ecchi shit in a while. We have to get on to that.
We
What's
could-
some modern ecchi shit? Hit me up. Tell
Let
me
us-
what some
let us
modern
know.
ecchi shit is. When was the last time I watched ecchi shit? It was probably High School DxD.
Mine was High School DxD for sure.
That was probably the last time I really watched anything ecchi. Maybe I'll just rewatch High School DxD. I don't fucking.
Would you count High School of the Dead or ecchi as well?
Ecchi is a
Because
pretty
there's no
broad term.
Yeah, there's no full on.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. Ecchi is just having lewd context.
Mm.
So I would say High School of the Dead is ecchi. Especially with the fucking
High School of the Dead.
titty sniper rest. That's fucking ecchi. That's fucking ecchi.
And the shit.
Yeah.
the titty matrix.
Recoil. That's fucking
Oh,
ecchi.
boy.
Absolutely. Fan service is fun service. As long as you have to either commit to this is fan service for the sake of fan service, and we're just gonna give you nothing but fan service and not require much of you. And then you can stop watching whenever. Or you have to commit to like High School DxD. Here's an actual plot with some character development.
Yeah, don't just throw
And
the
give
shit
some-
in there like
yeah,
Code
don't just
Geass, bro.
Yeah.
Even though
because
we like some of it.
don't throw
Come on,
ecchi into a story where it doesn't add to the story.
I'm trying to pay attention. I'm trying to look at Colin's ass. All right.
I don't mind
Fuck.
seeing it, but don't force me to look at it. There's the difference. Am I looking at it of my own volition, or are you making me look at it? That's the difference.
I want to know about her personality.
Personality. It's good shit. Speaking
Yeah.
of personality, who's got a nice personality in anime?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a fun one, right?
That's a
Who's
good
got a nice
question.
person, like a pleasant personality?
Pleasant. Oh, that's tough. I'd say like, what was that show with Hachiman? The
My
brown
teen
haired
romantic comedy
girl. Yeah.
is not what. Well, fuck. What was it?
Well,
Is not something as I expected.
there's
As
a,
wrong as I expected.
yeah,
That's it.
there's a brown haired girl. I forgot her name, but she seemed very very pleasant
The brown.
from the things that I've seen.
Okay, so Yui was very pleasant, but that was a show. She's not really brown haired though.
Mm.
And then you know who was pleasant though was the little gay kid, little trap.
Yeah.
Very very. What a good boy. He was such a good boy.
I'd say Rem from ReZero. She's
Poor Rem.
very
Oh,
nurturing, even though
Yes.
yeah.
Even though she knows
Yeah.
that she's going to be rejected, she still
Yeah.
carries on.
She still goes. She still goes with the boy.
I mean, I have to go with Violet Evergarden, of course.
Subaru. The show that I dropped.
How do you drop Violet Evergarden?
Bro, I just couldn't get into it. All right, I did like 2 episodes, and then I was just like, I don't.
Not only is it visually stunning, but like the character growth and development of Violet is just like so. It's deep in my chest.
Maybe I'll give it another try for you, Robert. I'll give it another try.
Absolutely give it another try. Because holy shit, the development of her character of learning how to express and feel emotion and process it. Oh, fuck, dude. Not to mention, she's fucking pretty.
She is pretty. I'll
She's
give you
very
that.
pretty.
She's very pretty.
But Kyo Ani is notorious for never having figures of their characters. I would pay a lot of fucking money for a Violet Evergarden figure. But there's not even bootleg Violet Evergarden figures.
Just make one, bro. Fuck it.
Yeah, totally. I have that crafting ability.
Yeah, we can do it.
Hey, any of you with 3D printers? Shit,
Uh,
son.
another one would be the girl from A Silent Voice.
I actually haven't seen that yet. I know it. I know of
You
it.
haven't seen A Silent Voice yet?
Or I haven't seen Your Name either.
Wow. Missing out, man.
I know. They're both on my watch list, but so are 8 million other things.
Yeah. 8 million other anime.
It's bad. And it's hard to prioritize them.
It's true.
Because even when I narrow them down, there's so many good ones.
That is a fact. So I will not fault you for that, my friend.
I will. I'll fault me for it. I gotta hold myself accountable.
You and everybody in the comments, you get on his ass about watching A Silent Voice.
If I get 5 comments on the YouTube video to watch A Silent Voice, I will watch A Silent Voice.
If we get 6, he'll watch A Silent Voice and the other one. What was the other one?
Your Name?
Your Name.
Your Name.
I'll watch it
I
too,
have
'cause
seen
haven't
5 centimeters per second, and that hurt me. So
That one hits.
yeah. The whole when he was like depressed in his room, and I was just like, I'm depressed in my room too. It's dark and full of trash and liquor
What are you
bottles.
trying to say, man?
Like it looked identical, and I was like, yo, this is hitting a little too hard. Yeah, that was. Dude, actually, earlier today, I saw somebody post. I was reading reviews, and somebody posted how 5 centimeters per second wasn't good, and how there was no emotional impact. And I'm like, are you a fucking robot?
Bro, people are crazy on the internet, bro.
Sometimes I can't tell if people are just trolling or if they're legitimately just like not paying attention or just trying to cause. I guess it's a troll either way, but they're either willingly trolling or unwittingly trolling. So
They're willingly trolling. They always do it on purpose.
Fuck trolls. What are you, like 15? Grow up. Get something better to do, like watch an anime that you haven't caught up on.
I thought of the little troll toys when you said that shit.
Oh, dude. I remember those. Oh, dude. My grandparents back in Youngstown had them. They were the little naked dolls with big hair on.
Yeah.
They had them sitting on their sink on the counter over the sink.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
God, I hated those things. They're so weird looking.
But yeah, I'm about to go back to playing Dragon's Dogma and finish off this bottle of whiskey. Kenny, you got any last words for the gang, for the homies? For the Jay, where are you, bro?
You messed up.
You missed a fun
and we
episode.
will hold you accountable. You're gonna do Lost in Paradise by yourself now.
Oh, thank God! Now I don't have to do it.
Every character.
All of them. You're gonna
Every
do all the
single
dances, and I will transpose you across the video.
All the goddamn dances, Jay.
So, but yeah, that's it. Have fun. We'll see you next episode.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out again.
Eventually, I'm gonna go back to playing video games.
Weeb out, people.
Weeb out, Weebles.